complaint for the hidden and camouflaged anti-Semitism of the Swiss state, complaint for the financing of the terrorist attacks in America, London, Canada and Australia, all of them ordered by the Swiss Al-Taqwa Bank. And a complaint against the Swiss state for financing and organizing the left-wing terrorism in Germany by the Rote Armee Fraktion, the RAF, and Bader-Meinhof group attacking US Army barracks, US institutions in Germany, and even US discos, leaving many US citizens dead, all from behind the screens organized by the Swiss Octogon and their sleeper agent Erich Honecker, the head of the German Stasi, who came from the Swiss Palatines or Swiss Saar in Germany. It is known now and how the Swiss and the Stasi trained, financed and furnished weapons to the German left-wing terrorists in order to attack US and Israeli targets, all orchestrated from the motherland in the Alps. And I'd like to be taken in any state's protection program because my life and those of my family and our 3 children are in serious acute danger because of the numerous murder threats by the Swiss Nazis, the same powerful Swiss organization that already financed Adolf Hitler, by the Swiss general and Octogon member Ulrich Wille, and organized the Islamofascism after the war by Swiss Octogon's great eminences François Junot and Hans Ahmed Huber al-Swissri. It's a long story, and I need a safe place to write it all down for you in detail with names and dates. This, what I've already started on my YouTube channels Gure and Chatsafrats, and for which the Swiss Nazis kidnapped me on July the 16th, 2015, against a ransom of 20,000 Swiss francs, because of my YouTube videos, in which I've tried to warn the US, Britain, Canada and Australia for coming terrorist attacks, and in which the Swiss were very successful to silence me up through the Rapt, a time in which I was heavily tortured through code O2T oxygen deprivation in several Swiss torture detention centers for political prisoners. In the internet you can read about it in the Zurich files, as you can see here, and about the torture on political prisoners in Switzerland by oxygen deprivation. It's very clean, you know, it's very Swiss, there are no proofs, it's neutral, no blood. I need your help to make those complaints in a court of law in any state. You can contact me on my email address in the description. And now the story. I was there years ago when Swiss industrials discussed the US future and those of Britain, Canada and Australia, when Swiss Octogon of the Nazi Templars and sole victor of the Second World War decided false flag terrorist attacks in Paris, London and Berlin, where Paris is still called Per Isis, per Isis, by its members, meaning the house of Isis, like in a royal house or royal lineage of the widow. And several times I tried to warn British and US authorities for the Swiss danger, by letters, emails, by means of videos, and 3 official complaints in several French courthouses on February 11, 2014, Boulogne-sur-Mer, March 24, 2014 in Mende, and April 25, 2016, Saint-Étienne. And in 2009, the US Embassy in Bern, Switzerland even called the Swiss Nazi police to have me arrested, poked with the butt of a machine pistol in my stomach, spending hours in a Swiss police station afterwards. Now we're 2018 and 4 years passed since my first complaint, and still no answer, no phone call, no email, no letter, absolutely nothing. And with my information, the tragedies of Paris, Nice, Berlin, London, etc. could have been avoided and the Swiss Octogon arrested. Because I knew that they would hit on a Friday 13th in Paris, because on exactly this date, the French King Philip the Fair had all the Templars arrested in the Kingdom of France on Friday the 13th of October in 1307. And exactly because of this, the Swiss and the Octogon Nazi Templars still hate France and the French to this very day. But only 16 years before, the Knights Templars had already founded Switzerland on August 1st, 1291, in the very last year of the Crusades, because they saw the problems coming at them. Only 325 Templars were rounded up, and tens of thousands of them made it to their new base in the Alps. Therefore, the first day in August, the day upon which the Templars founded Switzerland, is their national holiday of the Swiss. All have a day off, no one works, shops are closed, and fireworks in Templar style lit in the air. Kaboom! It's Templars' Day in Switzerland. The last year of the Crusades was 1291, and the last Templar stronghold called Acres fell on May 18th, 1291. And just 2.5 months later, with sheer time to get back in the Alps, the Knights Templars founded their scion in the Alps on August 1st, 1291. The ruins of Acres now lie in the north of Israel. And when looking at the Swiss flag, one can see it has the very same red and white Templars colors. The simplified Templars cross on the only flag in the world that is a square with 4 equal lengths. This is the cross of the Hospitallers, like a Swiss white cross on a red underground, because when the Templars went underground in 1291, all of a sudden the Hospitallers simultaneously popped up again to control the vast Templars' properties and wealth, thus the Swiss cross. So before and at the beginning of the Crusades, the Hospitallers were there, who went over into the military Templars during the Crusades to become the business-minded Hospitallers again after the Crusades. Still the same ones, merely changing jackets and inverting crosses and collars. So the pre-Crusade Hospitallers are in fact the predecessors of the Red Cross. The Red Cross is supposed to heal, but it is in fact a corrupted Swiss spy organization bearing the Red Cross of the Templars, just switching colors throughout history. Therefore, on the famous Swiss army knife, one can witness a real coat of arms of the Knights Templars, and why in fact those 2 colors, red and white, on the Swiss Templars flag. What's the deeper meaning behind that? The pharaohs of ancient Egypt had 2 kingdoms. Upper Egypt in the south, called the Berhed, in Demotic, or Pharaoh's written language, which means the White House wearing a white crown, and for Lower Egypt, in the north, in Demotic, Bertasser, the Red House, with a red crown on Pharaoh's head. Yes, exactly. It's because of this that the US President in Washington, D.C. presides in the White House with a huge obelisk and symbol of the pharaonic domination in the backyard next to it. Accordingly, the white pharaonic house were the heretic pharaohs of the New World Order, and the red pharaonic house the original Old World Order of the pharaonic primogenitura. Equally, the demotic per for house also forms the etymology for Paris. In the old pharaonic form, per Isis, used for the house of Isis, which is not a house to live in, nor the big pyramid. as mainstream historians were taught at the university. No, it's a royal house or royal lineage, just like the pharaonic bear-ah, from which the etymology for the very word pharaoh derived from, meaning the big house, which once more is not the pyramid taught by the mainstream history school, but the worldwide grand royal house and global web of pharaohs' bloodlines. And because the real aim of the Crusades were the pyramids of Egypt, out of which the Knights Templars got their Templars' treasure, being them the notorious grave robbers, and therefore the name Freemason. Freemason. Thus, giving the two colors red and white of the United Kingdom of Pharaoh to their Templars logo, a red cross presenting a two-dimensional pyramid, as you can see here, on a white flag or garment, and in the end to the red and white base in the Alps. Only inversed as a white cross on a red underground, and represents the Hospitallers, an extremely wealthy business organization into which the Templars partially emerged and disappeared. These two red and white pharaonic kingdoms were in a constant state of strife and war until, at a certain point, they decided to make peace with each other in order to conquer the world together, and with this goal in mind, founded the United Kingdom of Pharaoh, with the red and white crowns worn together in one single red and white crown. This is the specific reason for former German uniforms to be white, British red and the French blue, the traditional royal colors of Pharaoh. And because the Templars are true descendants of the pharaohs, which I will explain more later on, arrived back from the Crusades in Europe, they said, this here will be our neutral base, which will never be involved in any wars, so we can keep all our valuables and all our gold, money and documents in safety. Where all the NGOs and instruments of global rule of the new pharaonic system will be, like the Red Cross, the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, the Olympic Games, the OMS for the doctors, and even the FIFA and UEFA for soccer, football, all highly corrupted by Swissy, the International Ice Hockey Federation, etc. You name it, it's all there. Neutral Switzerland, not for us the people. Not neutral for us, but only for our pharaonic masters, feudal aristocratic lords who always keep their peace talks between warring nations by their, as presidents, camouflage feudal lords in Geneva, the diplomatic capital of the world, and their own base, there where this horrible CERN lays. This pharaonic world elite also sends their offspring to some rich boarding school in the motherland, their base, like in Montreux, Gstaad, Lausanne, etc. Even Dr. Mengele did so. There was also a third crown of Pharaoh, the Blue War Crown, and it's therefore they're all for pharaohs warring colonial and imperialist nations have these three pharaonic colors of the three crowns in their flags, blue, white and red, like France, England, UK, the Netherlands, America, USA and Russia. Red and white, the United Kingdom of Pharaoh, and original colors of the flags of England and France, and blue for war, surely because Pharaoh's nobility has blue blood. Like the blue helmets of Pharaoh's New World Order United Nations for the war, para bellum, like Pharaoh's blue war crown, and afterwards it